Assalamu alaikum. It's Video1 again. I'll be explaining today chapter 9, Alcohols, part 1. Let's start first of all with the objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to, first of all, to recognize alcohols. Second, to identify the classes of alcohol. And third, to name the alcohols according to IUPAC. So let's start with our first objective. Definition and general formula of alcohol. You saw alcohol in the first or in the previous chapter in the functional group, but today we have to study about alcohol in details. So alcohols are organic compounds whose molecules contains one or more hydroxyl group, OH, linked to a carbon chain. Now, the monoalcohol, look at the word mono. Mono means one. A monoalcohol is an alcohol having just one hydroxyl group. And the general formula of a monoalcohol, because in this here we have to see only monoalcohol, it means alcohol having just one hydroxyl group, not two or more. The general formula, it can be written as ROH, as we said previously, which fits all monoalcohols, and where R is an alkyl group, we said that an alkyl group, it means it's something containing carbon and hydrogen without containing a further functional group. Or there is another way to represent the general formula in terms of N, so it would be CnH2n plus 1 OH or CnH2n plus 2 O. As we said, this hydrogen can be added to these hydrogens, and oxygen will be written alone, so both are correct. And this is for monoalcohols having non-cyclic and saturated carbon chain. Actually, we said that in this here we have to see only this type of monoalcohol, so we can use this formula. Remark, for simplicity in the coming slides in this video, we will use the term alcohol, although we are dealing with monoalcohols, because as we said, in this year we will deal with monoalcohols only. Now, the second objective is to recognize the classes of alcohol. Look, alcohols are classified in three classes based on the substituents on the carbon to which the hydroxyl group OH is attached. What does this sentence mean? We will see in the next slide. So according to this criterion, the classes of alcohol will be primary, secondary, and tertiary. Look at this concept map. It will explain us. These are the classes of alcohol. The class, as we said, it can be primary, secondary, or tertiary. What about primary alcohol? Look at this. This is an example. R, as we said, is an alkyl group. This is the carbon to which the hydroxyl group OH is attached. As you can see, this carbon here, as I wrote here, that holds the hydroxyl group is joined to how many? To one alkyl group R, and in this case, it will be attached to what? To two hydrogen atoms. So when this carbon holding this hydroxyl group is attached to one alkyl group, automatically the alcohol is said to be primary. Look at the secondary alcohol. Again, this is the carbon to which the hydroxyl group OH is attached. As you can see, this carbon is attached to two alkyl groups. One is R, the second is considered R prime. So here it will have only one hydrogen atom to which is attached, so in this case it would be a secondary alcohol. What about the tertiary? Again, look at the carbon to which OH is attached. This carbon is attached to three alkyl group represented here by R, R prime, and R seconds. So there is no hydrogen to which this carbon is attached, and thus this alcohol is said to be tertiary. So again, the classes of alcohols are three: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Let's see some examples about the classes of alcohol to understand them better. Look at this alcohol. This is the carbon to which the hydroxyl group is attached to. Now, look at this. This is an alkyl group. Why an alkyl group? Although it's branched, I don't care. Alkyl group, as we said, it is something made up of carbon and hydrogen. As you can see, I have no functional group. So this is an alkyl group. So the carbon here to which the OH is attached to one alkyl group and definitely to two hydrogen atoms. So this alcohol is primary. and this is the explanation. Let's consider another example. Here is another example. This is the carbon to which OH is attached. Okay, look at this. This is the first alkali group attached to this carbon, and this is the second alkali group. So we have two alkali groups and definitely one hydrogen atom. So what will be the class of this alcohol? It is a secondary alcohol because, as we said, two alkali groups here. Consider a third example. Here is the carbon to which OH is attached. Now look, we have 1, 2, 3 alkali groups. So definitely this alcohol is tertiary. The second objective of our lesson is to give name to alcohol. Nomenclature, it means to name, to give a name to alcohols. Alcohols are named according to the rules set by the IUPAC. What is IUPAC? It is I for international, U for union, P for pure, A for applied, and C for chemistry. You don't have to do anything with this name. I just telling you to understand where this acronym derives from, or this abbreviation it means. All what we have to do is to follow the rules set by the IUPAC. What are these rules? The first rule is to choose the main chain, that is the longest carbon chain containing the carbon with the hydroxyl group. This is the first step to give it the proper name for an alcohol. The second step is to number the carbons in the main chain chosen above, giving the smallest number to the carbon where OH is attached to. Finally, you have to give the corresponding number of all branches and name them, if there are branches, if any, how to name them, like methyl, ethyl, bromo, chloro, and we have to follow what? The alphabetical order in this. The name of alcohol is as the alkane of the same main carbonate chain, but what do we have? We have to drop the final E of alkane and we have to add at its place what do we call the suffix ol. Suffix, it means the last part of the word. Now, let's practice because it is difficult to memorize those using language. So let's give examples to understand how to give name to an alcohol. But before, let me remind you about the names of all organic compounds derived from that of alkanes. So, as a revision, here is a table showing the 10 first alkanes. I will ask you in the agenda to copy this table as a reference to memorize the name of these 10 alkanes taken in grade 9 and last year, because as we said, all names of all organic compounds derive from this, so these are essential in nomenclature. Let's give example now about our alcohol. This is an alcohol. Okay, first of all, what did we say according to the IUPAC? We have to choose the longest chain. As you can see, here is the longest and the main carbonate chain. Now we have to give number to those carbons. Look, we have two ways to give number. Starting from this extremity, it would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or maybe another student will number carbon in that way. Now, which one is the proper numbering? Actually, it is what is in the green. Why? Because look, here, according to the first case, the carbon holding OH will have a number that is 2. In the second case, it will have number 3. Which one is smaller or the smallest? It is 2. So this one is the proper numbering. So the longest chain, as we said, contains 4 carbon. Once we identify the carbonate chain, the name of the alcohol will be butanol. Why? Because the alkane with 4 carbon group is called butane. So we drop the E from alkane and we add all as we mentioned. Second, the OH is attached to carbon number 2 as we said here, and there are no branches in this case. So the full name is 2. We write 2-butanol. 2 to mention what? The position of the hydroxyl group. It means to which carbon of the chain hydroxyl group is attached to. It would be 2. We will put dash between the number here and the name, which is butanol. This is our first example. Let's move to another example. This is another example. Again, first step is to identify the longest chain and then to give it a number. Here also a student can give two ways in numbering. Which one is correct? Again, look at the carbon that holds the OH. I said here it's 1 and here it's a 3. So the smallest number is 1. So this numbering is the correct one. So the longest chain contains a 3 carbon. The name of the alcohol will be, the root name it means will be propanol. Now, OH is attached to carbon number 1 as we mentioned, and there is one branch which is methyl, as you can see here at carbon number 2. Can you see this is methyl because it is one carbon, so its name also, the name of the branch derived from that of alkane, because methane is the alkane having one carbon atom, so it would be methyl at carbon number 2. So what would be the full name? It is as following. First of all, we will give the number of the branch. As we said, CH3 here is a branch attached to carbon number 2. So we will write 2, we will put a dash here. Methyl, we will put another dash. We will give the number 1 to the carbon to which OH is attached, and then we will write propanol. Another example, this is another alcohol. This is the main carbon chain. It's numbered 1 and 2. I have no other possibility of numbering it. The longest chain contains 2 carbon, so the name is ethanol. Now, how many branches do we have? Sorry, I forgot to say that OH is attached to carbon number 1, and there are 2 alkyl branches, CH3. Attached both. Look here, here is CH3 and here CH3. They are both attached to carbon number 1. So the full name will be the following. Pay attention. For each branch I have to give or to assign a number. So here I put 1. But I don't put dash here, I will put comma between the consecutive numbers in nomenclature. Then another 1. Then dash. Then we will write dimethyl. This di to indicate that we have 2 methyl branches. So I repeat, 1 for the first methyl, another one for the second methyl, because they are attached to the same carbon, di to indicate that they are 2 methyl, and without any space here, ethanol. This is the full name. The last example, I suppose, here, this is the longest chain of our alcohol to which OH is attached. It is numbered in that way. I will not give the other way around. Directly, OH is attached to carbon number 2. So this is the proper way in numbering the carbon chain. The longest chain, as you can see here, contains 6 carbon. So the name is hexanol. Now, how many branches do we have? Before, I forgot that OH is attached to carbon number 2. So it would be 2-hexanol. Look now at the branches. There are 2 alkyl branches. The first here, it is CH3, as you can see. It is named, it's methyl. That is attached to carbon number 5. Pay attention, I underlined M, you have to know why. The second branch that is here, it is CH2CH3. It can be written sometimes C2H5 instead of being written in that way. It is the same. Its name is ethyl. Also, I underlined the letter A, attached to carbon number 4. Now look, this is letter M and this is E. According to the alphabetical order, E is before M. So what would be the nomenclature? Here is ethyl. The full name is 4-ethyl. We start naming ethyl as we said because ethyl, E, is before M in the alphabetical order. So 4 to say to which carbon is ethyl here attached. So 4-ethyl. Another dash 5, as you can see here is 5 and methyl. Another dash 2-hexanol for this, and this will be the full name of our alcohol. Now I will ask you to do the pause, and to pay attention what you have on the agenda, and I will thank you and we'll see you in another video.